In this one, how I made 60 divines in just 3 evenings of play. I'm going to cover my general strategy, along with the Atlas passive tree, and the league mechanics that I'm using. First off, drops this league seem to be worse than in previous leagues. It could just be my luck. Let me know how you've been doing in the comments below. I wasn't actually able to drop a single divine in the whole first week of play, which is really abnormal. For league mechanics, I'm focusing on just 4, the current league mechanic and just 3 others. On top of this, I'm focusing on running maps as quickly as possible. The vast majority of these are tier 16s, a couple of tier 17s, and a specific kind of map in order to maximise gold drops to fuel the first league mechanic. So let's jump into the Settlers of Kalguur League mechanic and how that's making me divines. The vast majority of divines from this mechanic is coming from shipping. About 15 of the 60 divines was made this way. And there's a couple of tips for maximising your profit. Focus on selling crops. When I've sent boats just containing metals, I've made practically no currency of note. Also, you want to send hauls with about 2 million or more of value. Less than this and the amount of payment you get in divines seems to drop substantially. Now do remember this is all RNG based, so you aren't guaranteed to get divines even if you send a huge shipment. But following these 2 tips, you should be getting around 65 to 70% of all hauls containing divines. The next part of this mechanic I've been using is map runners. These have been a little more hit and miss, making only about 5 divines of the total currency. I am only upgraded enough to run yellow maps at this point though, so I don't know if this will increase once we get to red maps. To maximise this mechanic, you really want your farms to be as upgraded as possible. You also need a way of generating gold, and the best way to do that is to run maps. If you run out of gold, everything just stops, and you won't make any money from the mechanic doing that. So to help you maximise gold, here are a few tips. Synthesis maps drop a ton. Every so often, your ships will be intercepted by a pirate. You always want to fight him, because killing him drops a ton of gold, and I mean a ton. This boss is not very challenging. I fought him about 4 times and died 0. When you maximise the upgrades to mining, there is a buff that you get that grants you the same amount of gold as the amount of ore that you collect from each map. This will grant you about 1,000 gold extra per tier 16 map. If you are struggling to do the upgrades and keep the gold running, it is permissible to shut down the town to do those upgrades. You can do this by simply unallocating all your staff from your farms and other buildings that consume gold. Staff that aren't working don't cost you any gold. But do remember, while you're not running mechanic, you're not making money. The bonuses on the shipping ports aren't that great. You can make currency still by completely ignoring them and just selling a ton of crops. Obviously they will help if they're there because they boost the overall profit. Now running this mechanic doesn't take an awful lot of time because it's set it off and forget about it until you get the notification. So it is a really nice way of making passive currency even while you're offline. The second mechanic I've been running is my old favourite, Harvest. And can I just say that the currency trading system is the best thing ever. It has to stay in the game. Please GGD, make that happen. It allows you to liquidize not only your harvest assets, but practically any currency or stackable item in the game, which is just so quick, letting you get back to mapping and making money far quicker. The best harvest juice so far comes from yellow, then blue, and then purple plants. The white stuff is also really good, but you drop far less of that. But they are going for about 60 chaos a piece at the moment. This mechanic possibly has the biggest investment on the Atlas passive tree at the moment. I'll link that tree in the description of the video. The next mechanic is another favourite of mine, Delve. 2 things will make you big money in this mechanic. 1, certain fossils, and 2, resonators. Once you've spent as much of the azurite as you need to on the Voltaxic generator, you can use all the rest to just buy resonators from Nico. And yes, all of this currency can be sold through the currency guy as well. The last mechanic I'm running in any big way for making currency is Betrayal. And there is only one reason for this. Maximise your running of Katarina. She is the only thing in the game that can drop Veiled Orbs. And they are worth 7.5 divines at the moment. So it's a big payout if you drop one. There are 2 other things I have on the Atlas passive tree, not directly for making money. One is Rogue Exiles because they drop a ton of stuff and can drop more gold. And the other is to drop Guardian and Conqueror maps, and that is for my endgame strategy where I'm going to fight Ubers. Unlike previous leagues, I have not been using the influence of either the Searing Exarch or the Eater of Worlds this league. It just doesn't seem that great, I don't know why. Instead, I've been running the Maven Invitations. Maven's writs sell for about 75 chaos. And we also have the chance to drop Awakened Skill Gems, which can sell for a ton. Another thing that can sell for a ton is Maven's Chisels. You don't necessarily want to use these, they could net you a ton of divines. I haven't actually been selling my scarabs this league, I haven't even looked at pricing them, I've just been throwing them in my maps. I have unlocked all 6 map slots, so for each map I can have 5 scarabs. I tend to go for ones that boost monster pack size, or just generally increase the number of monsters in my map, such as Rogue Exiles. The more monsters you have, the more chance you've got of dropping things. Since I started doing this, I've started dropping way more currency from maps. That's how I've been making currency this league. I hope you found this video useful. If you haven't because you're already an expert at dropping currency, then please share with the rest of us so we can all benefit. If you have, then please consider subscribing or at least dropping a like. And with that, thanks for watching and may the RNG be with you.